Today we are going to learn about semiconductors. Before this, let us understand what is conductor, semiconductor, insulator, and then we will be learning about intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. And after that, we will be having knowledge about p-type and n-type semiconductors. So we know that there are three types of materials. One is conductors, semiconductors, and insulators. You know that conductors are those we can compare like this. Suppose there are many people who are entering into a stadium and the gate is open, so everybody can go. So, similarly, in the similar way, if electrons can travel without any hindrance, this is the case of a conductor. But if we open a narrow path in which the people may go in a line in a particular order as directed, then this is the case of semiconductors. And what about insulators? All the gates are closed. There is no way how the electrons can travel inside the conductor. So no electron is allowed to travel. They are inside the material, but they can't carry current. Now let us have a overlook about how many types of semiconductors are there. Basically, we divide them into two parts, intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. If we look here, we can see that there are two types of semiconductors which are being depicted here. One is silicon, and silicon is having four electron in its outermost orbit, which will be able to be shared. And similarly, germanium also has four outer shell electrons that are ready for the sharing. If we see silicon, this silicon has four electrons at its outermost orbit, and if it gets more four electrons, then silicon may have its octet complete, and this way it has its complete configuration. Now, what happens with silicon? When silicon is there with its four electrons, and in the neighboring there are other silicon electrons arranged in that array. So, these four electrons of an atom share with nearest four electrons of silicon and make a covalent bond. This is just like this. You can see in the figure. Every silicon atom is having a covalent bond with the adjacent silicon atom. These covalent bonds makes the structure strong enough so there is no electron available for the conduction of current. But if we heat or give some temperature, then what happens? By getting some temperature, one electron gets sufficient energy and it gets out of that bond. The bond is broken and that electron comes out. And similarly, a vacant space is created, which is called a hole. This hole is again filled by another electron which is near to this hole, and that electron comes and occupies that space. Consequently, the leftover space now again is created like a hole. This way, this process goes on and the electron moves from one side to side, and similarly hole gets movement in the opposite direction. This way we say that this current is generated because of the holes. Now let us have a look what are extrinsic semiconductors and how they are different from intrinsic semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductors are the semiconductors which are available in pure form, while extrinsic semiconductors are those which are available in not pure form. There are some impurities added in it. We or sometimes we said tell that this is also termed as doping. When we add some impurity or we do the process of doping, then extrinsic semiconductors are made. Now let us look how this is being done. If you see here again, we have a depiction that types of extrinsic semiconductor. Now these are two types. They may be p type or n type. Now, p-type are called as trivalent. Trivalent are those in which there is there are only 3 electrons in the outermost orbit. And second one is n-type, which is called pentavalent, which is having 5 electrons in its outermost orbit. Here example is of boron and phosphorus. Now what happens when a boron atom is doped into the silicon, then that boron comes with 1 electron less, and there it shares with the neighboring 3 silicon electrons while one space is vacant. And this trivalent impurity when added to silicon, that's create a space which is called a hole, which can be seen here with the red symbol. Now similarly, 1 electron against is shared and these holes are created in the doped silicon with the boron. Now let us have a look how n-type or pentavalent impurities are added and how n-type semiconductors are made. While making n-type, we take silicon and in a silicon we add a phosphorus atom.
Hello.
When a phosphorus atom is added to the silicon material, then this silicon having 5 electrons in its outermost orbit. So what happens here that these 4 electrons shares to the adjacent silicon electrons while 1 electron is left over. This one leftover electron which is not participating in the sharing of covalent bond is free to move within this material, and this extra flowing electrons helps to constitute current, and this current is because of n-type material which is called electron. This way, while adding phosphorus, we can get a n-type of semiconductor. And here you can see that this one free electron is available which can be used for the conduction of current. So this is all what we have learnt about today about semiconductors, about intrinsic, extrinsic and p-type and n-type semiconductors. Thank you.